no fancy intro, and I feel like of all seasons, this season deserves a fancy intro, but it is what it is, my friends. Welcome to season 10. All right, my friends, we've got a lot to cover. In case you are watching this going like, wait a minute, what happened to season 9, episode 10? It was a stream that we did on the weekend. Go back and watch it. It should show up in all the videos on the channel. I want to say I was told by Eduardo Valente in Discord, because I asked when the Coppa Italia final started in the stream, and it was an hour and 10 minutes in was the team meeting, and the match started at an hour and 15. We had 2 games before that. We had the Coppa Italia final, and I think 3 games after that. So if you don't know where we're at in the season or in the table or for continental competition and all that kind of stuff, just pause. Just pause this video. Go watch that. You can hop forward and then kind of check in at the end and see where everything ended up, because we kind of did the end of season awards and all that kind of stuff then as well. We had questions at the end of that episode about, and by the way, thank you for coming out. That was awesome. We had like 26 people, which, you know, for some streamers, that's like, you know, that's the riffraff, right? But I put out a video at like 7 o'clock at the normal episode time and said, hey, I'm quarantined and I'd like to, you know, spend some time with you all. Let's get together on a Sunday afternoon. So I'm not just going to say that we're going to do that every weekend, but it is a possibility. So keep a tab on Twitter and Discord. Those links are in the description below. If you're new around here because you love a transfer window, hit that subscribe button. Let's see what's going on. So the questions we had, there's so much to go over. We are not doing a game today. This is all transfers. The question we had at the end of last episode on that stream was like, what are the wage budgets going to be? What's the wage budget and what's going to be the transfer budget? Like, how much money are they going to give? And I asked in the chat, and there was ranges like 15 million, 20 million, something like that would be solid to where we could go out. And essentially we all agreed we need more depth. We've got some really good starters, but like we need that depth underneath that in case someone goes down with injury. We have to sell somebody, all that kind of stuff. We also had Real Madrid showing some interest in Serge, and Serge having some interest in Real Madrid. We will talk about that, my friends. As you can see here, we've the highest fee we paid is 44 million. We've had 3 ins and 6 outs, so we'll get to that. We'll get to that. You could tell the one right there above. I think you could tell. I'm not looking at my stream here. Yeah. We signed Francesco Angelini from Genoa for 44 million. So not to like give it away, but it's like, yeah, that's what happened there. But before we get to that, so the transfer budget came in at 27.17 million and a 1.3 million wage budget, which is what going into the end of the season was saying the estimate for the wage budget was 1.3. We're already below that, so we're in the same ballpark there. We set a new average attendance record of 21,001. The one. We have extended Jallo. Same wages. We gave him a 3.5 million loyalty bonus, some other increases. He had 12 months left. It's a 5-year deal. I probably overpaid, but I love him. You know, I'm sure you can relate. You play Football Manager, you fall in love with players. But it also gives us the opportunity if we sell him. Now he's got a higher, you know, we could sell him for a little bit more. We are 6-1 odds to win the title, 6th place. Lazio is behind us at 20-1. So I guess I could try. I'm trying not to give away too much here. So let's go to competitions. You're like, who's this 44 million? What? Easy. We'll get there. Season preview is what I'm looking for. Oh, we've dropped. Oh, that's harsh. That's interesting. We were 6-1 odds in preseason, and Lazio is 21. So it's dropped. I'm not worried about it. We're supposed to now. The team was a little upset that we wanted Champions League. They're like, I don't think we can get that. And I'm like, we just did. We just did, boys. I mean, come on. That was the thing with Serge. He was upset. He's like, I have to go play Champions League. And I'm like, but like we were just there. Help us get back, mate. And he was like, So. And interesting. We have 2 of the Media Dream 11 players, Serge and this new guy. We'll get there. Last season, we sold 16,807. Okay, it's still there. We're expected to sell 17,400. What's interesting about that, and I want your thoughts on this, I don't think we can pull this off now, but if we have to sell Surge, we might be able to. Garage door. Turn up your volume. We are in a ground share with Sassuolo. I don't know how that works. Like, do we get all of the revenue? Like, is this a good thing because it lowers our maintenance costs for the stadium because we're sharing it, but we get all the revenue on our games? Is that a thing? But man, 17,400 season tickets is like almost all season ticket holders, which is awesome. And it was built in 95. So like you have to go, what, 20, 30 years before you can ask for a new stadium? We'd be there, right? We'd be there. Whether it's 20 or 30. So that's interesting. Colombani is the 5th and Serge is the 6th expected top goal scorers in Serie A, which is interesting. But again, they're kind of sharing, right? It's not just we have one stud. They've got 2 really good players. Colombani is also the top young player expected for the season. And Italy got to the 3rd place game in the Olympics. I actually didn't see what happened after that. And the only reason I know is that this Angelini kid we signed was part of that. So my friends, let's just hop right to it. We've had some outs. We've had to make some tough decisions. Here's where we're at. We got 3.8 million in the transfer budget right now. I'm happy with that wage budget. We're at 1.25. We've not really gone up or down on wage budget, but we have spent, at one point we had 70 million in the bank. We're down to 18. So like we really do. It's not that the Coppa Italia is not important this year. But in comparison to the Europa League, it's not. We have to make Champions League. We have to make Europa League to like rebuild that bank balance. Otherwise, I think we are at risk of being those clubs from a financial fair play where we have to start shedding players like Roma did a couple seasons ago in my save, not in real life. So that's what's going on there, my friends. Let's go. Okay. Let's look at the outs. We sold Jake Cooper in the stream for 1.7 million, rising to 2.1 to Celtic. He wanted to go there. Also had an offer for 3 million from Reading, and unfortunately, the board is unhappy because they think we could have gotten more. I was just trying to get rid of him. It opens up a non-EU player spot. He was going to be 33 this season, I think. He's 33. I just think it was a good time. It was a good time to get rid. Did a great job for us. I'm going to miss the 6'7" and doing this, but maybe we can get somebody that can actually head the ball down into the net. We've loaned out Mateus. How you doing? Patron Mateus, to Body, who got promoted to Serie B from Serie C 2 seasons ago. Apparently they find themselves in 9th, but that means that they're a solid mid-table team. It's not like they're going to be struggling at the bottom. Hopefully he can make an impact there. We've loaned out Andrea Leo to Tutto Cuyo, something like that. Longo has gone to Secula Leonzio. I'm a little worried because this is the thing that frustrates me, and maybe I could have done it a little bit different. When you mark them available for loan, or you like, I forgot, I guess, to go in and add the loan cannot be terminated and then like exclude from negotiations. So these guys here, I can't terminate it. So what happened to Longo last season is we loaned him on a regular starter or important player contract to Metallica, which I don't care if that's how you say it or not. That's how I'm saying it. And they played him twice. And I was screaming at their manager, and there was literally nothing I could do about it. And then I've gone and done it again. Great. We've loaned Nicholas Haas out for minute amount of wages. We're paying him $39K. They are paying $11.75 of that, which takes a little bit of the bite off of it. You could argue he's good enough to be around, but I was trying to sell him, to be honest with you, and then we had to make some room on the squad. I didn't want him hanging around and not being able to play. So we've loaned him out. I probably should have waited and tried to get a better offer, but sometimes you just are like, just get rid. We'll take 10% wages, or we'll take 25% wages, or whatever, right? We have sold Wim Bollen to Navarra for $425. I'll explain why. You look at the scout summary now, he's a 39. That's your first indication. It's $100,000 less than his value, but I'm not worried about it. He just wasn't going to make it. He was 2-star. He's an all-around decent, like, emergency backup, but we weren't going to give him the playing time. So it kind of is what it is. Marian Cluj is his replacement, so we've spent more money, but it's fine. And then this is kind of big. This is the most money. 9.25 million is the most money we will have received for a player, aside from Ryan Castee, I think, ever. If we go back here and look, We got 8 million for Zolz. Now it was like, I can't remember what that deal was, but we got the 8 million pretty quick because he got the number of appearances because he was their starter for a little bit. I think that's how that went. But it's a massive deal because I tend to fall in love with players and then not sell them, which obviously is not good. And this guy, I haven't had a chance to fall in love with it. You could argue I'm making a mistake, but we got 3.8 million up front. He's a 19-year-old that came through our academy. Okay, so he's a homegrown player. Would have loved to have been able to make it work, but Juventus came calling and he was interested, and I wasn't going to be able to give him the game time at the level that he needed. Now, could we have loaned him out? Maybe. But, I mean, he's gone on a breakthrough prospect, so it's not like he's going to get the game time there either. He's probably not going to work out, is what it looks like. I mean, he's a great, again, Torcarista, he already knows everything but the complete forward. It's kind of crazy. But we were also trying to balance, we're spending a lot of money. They came in and they kept coming back, and I finally said, okay, let's go. So it's 3 million up front. It says 3.8, I think, but it's 3 million up front, 2 installments of 750K. So that's where you get in the 3.8. That's one installment this year of 750K. So those combined are 4.5 right there. We get $1 million after he hits 10 league appearances. Now, he may not get there because he's a breakthrough prospect, but it's just appearances. As that starts, we get 250K per league appearance for 10 games. So essentially, if he gets 10 games, if he appears for 10 games, we're going to get 1.25, okay? If he gets 1 international appearance, we get $1 million. If he gets 10 league goals, we get $1 million, and we get 40% of the next sale profit. And I think, at the very least, they're going to sell him. He's worth 6.75, so I think we've done well there to cash in on a youth prospect. Despite how kind of disappointing, because it's all right, let's look at Cluj, because that ties to Wim Bodden, and I'm going to miss saying that. But 19 years old, we have a bid in to loan him, and I think I'm going to say no. Garage door's closing now. Enjoy that. Really good physicals. Decent. He's not fantastic, but he's decent. But that's my he's operating at Serie B level. It's like we've got fantastic facilities. We've got a really good squad from a mentorship standpoint. I want him around the squad to develop, but would he be better off getting 35 starts in Serie B if we could get that kind of a loan put together? The offer we have right now from Cremonese is in Serie B. They've been up for 2 seasons now, 15th. They are right there at the bottom, right? That's danger zone. They're offering 70% of his wages as an important player. I've not said yes. I've not said no. We've left it. But here's my thinking here. He's really the third string. So could slide over. So's our starting center back. Okay. So we got Grandi, Theo, and Cluj. Is he gonna get enough game time? That's where I feel like I need to force myself to give him game time, because Theo can help cover the left wing if we need him to, because we cut Tyrese. And also, he's had Lille, I was going to say Leon, I knew that's not what it was, has come in several times offering 7.25 for Theo, but I like Theo. He's obviously better. If you go compare them, let's go look at Cluj. Theo's a tad bit better, but Theo's 28. Cluj is 19. So my thinking is we've got the Europa League group stage. We're going to have more opportunity to rotate. So he's going to be able to play here in this part of the season. And if he does amazing, then maybe we sell Theo, in the January window, or maybe we loan him out for the second half of the season to get him that game time. A little torn there. We've signed Ernesto Brites, who is an Argentinian, for 3.4 million. Breakthrough prospect. He's already wanted on loan, which is kind of crazy. He is aside from Kut, our third best actual striker. Kut is really our attacking midfielder. Colombani, Ida. Now you could argue, right? It could be 3-star, could be 4-star. So do we loan him out to go get that game time? Kind of the same situation, but I kind of want him around the squad. Again, we got group stage. I just have this feeling that we're going to have some injuries, because we've been relatively lucky in the attacking third from an injury standpoint, I think. Are we going to have some injuries, or should we just try and loan him out now? Now, you could argue we've overpaid because he's worth $2 million. I'm not worried about that. But I thought he was a good enough looking prospect. Maybe it was the first touch and the acceleration. I was just like, oh, yum, 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 yum. I think he's a good pickup, even though the star ratings may not agree. I think the star ratings are not flawed, but like when you've got Serge and Colombani on your team and this Angelini kid, it makes everyone else look like garbage versus like them, you know, they're good players. They can do a job. Oh, look at that. That's all right. Let's look at Francesco here. What's funny to me is the board actually shot this down. They shot it down. And then I had to have a conversation. I'm like, he's worth it. And they were like, oh, okay. Like, it was really just one conversation. And then, okay, you can, or I'll come back to this. So you don't have to pause. When you come back to the vision, manager performance, transfers, they're delighted. They're delighted because of a lower wage. All right, well, you weren't delighted when you tried to cancel it. Like, what's the deal? Unbelievable. He's got a 1-star yellow gold star reputation. I'm training him as the attacking midfielder. This is the Coot replacement because I want to have Giallo and Viviani. But I think if you're going to have a player who's dangerous, he can't tackle to save his life. He's a 9 on tackling, okay? If you're going to have a player with a 16 first touch, 17 passing, 17 technique, 18 leadership, which, okay, that's not on the pitch, but you know what I'm saying. 16 off the ball, 17 vision, 16 acceleration, 18 pace, 17 agility. I want him in the number 10 role. That's my thinking. Like, and he actually wanted there were other teams interested, like Man United were interested, Juventus was interested, and he was interested in both of them, but we jumped first. And with our offer, he was with Genoa. He was worth like 12 million according to the value. And then they wanted 42 million and we worked it out. Like we'll talk about it. Oh, did I even write down what we offered? I don't know if I did. It's a lot. It's not all at once, which is nice. So we offered him important players, what I was getting at, instead of squad player, I think he wanted, I can't remember. It was like he didn't want to be a star player. And so I was like, let's try and, get him to come here by saying, we're going to make you an important player. You're going to play all the time. And then he only wanted 55 grand, like only, but you know what I'm saying? So it says 44 million. It's just not all at once. Like it was, I wish I'd written that down. Why didn't I write that down? It was like 20 million today and like 5 or 8 million a season for the next 3 seasons. That makes up another 24. Maybe that's what it was with some like add-ons and whatever. So it's definitely expensive, but I think he's a really good signing. Runs with the ball through the center, gets on the opposite ear, tries killer balls, often knocks ball past opponent. Dribbling could do a little bit better if you're going to knock the ball past his opponent. But like, I think that is what's making everyone else look kind of mediocre, which is not really fair. Let's show it to you this way. So has got a little bit of a knock. He's got twisted knee for 4 days. Grandi has got a twisted ankle for 3 weeks. But if you look, just look at this. Serge, Colombani, Angelini, top players. Oriol right behind him. So right behind them. And then it falls off a little bit. Berggren and Grandi. Giallo, who's making more than everybody except for Colombani and Serge, which is, again, I probably overpaid. But now he's worth 21.5. So we could just like sell him. Right? Like maybe Angelini is really good. We go back to a 3-4-3. We play with 2 midfielders instead of with 3 with an attacking mid. We sell Giallo. That's probably what might happen if I can find another really good prospect. Like sell him for 30 or 40 million, bring somebody in at 20, rinse and repeat, right? Viviani, and then Giroud, Andreessen, Pedin, it kind of drops off from there. But you notice Theo's dropped off. So that's why I'm going like, yeah, it would be really good value if we could get 7 million for Theo right now. But Grandi is injured. That would leave essentially Grandi, Giroud, and the new kid, Cluj, as our 3 main can play wingback, fullback type role, right? And it would be moving us, obviously, or we've moved to the 4-2-3-1 away from the 3-4-3 for right now. Oriol can slide over, So can slide over. Andreessen can slide over. But I think for the first half of the season, having that depth, because after Surge, right, Kolombani can play there, and then Theo is better than Jallo at the attacking winger role, right? So I just think for the group stage, it makes sense to keep extra bodies around before making any other drastic decisions. We have Baltadano. I was on the fence because I want to see him improve, but when you look at the potential, it's dropping. We're going to try and go get him more game time. He's now with Ernesto coming in, 1-2, take Kut out of it, 3, 4th best striker. So we're going to loan him back out to, what is it? Who is it? It's on here somewhere. Intella, who's a City of Chi team. Now we have taken off the, cannot be canceled. He's an important player on an advanced forward. I got picky, and they're paying 40% of his wages. $1,800 for City of Chi seems like a lot. So that's what's going on there. We may never play with him, right? Like he's gonna, next season would essentially be the only time, I think, because he'd be 21. He'd still be in the under 22, so we could still use him. But he's still got, 4 years roughly. So we're gonna have to loan him for another. We could use him next season, loan him for 3 seasons. I just don't think it's gonna work out. So if we can get some of his wages paid for, get him some more experience, maybe he can come back into goal scoring form like he did here at Prato. Or Preto, I'm not sure. Again, not bad last season, but not as good as you'd like. Maybe that works out. I like that Ernesto's here. So Ernesto's kind of taking his spot, essentially. If Ernesto had said no, then I would have kept Baltadano. Let's go look at Angelini. His form here. He was on international duty. As you can see, look at, this is the Olympics, y'all. And maybe it was warm up to the Olympics, but like he had an assist a game and then didn't get used in this game. Oh, he had bruised ribs. That's what happened. Which was just kind of crazy when you think about it. They won, say, 3rd place at the Olympics. Yeah, so the first 2 games were friendlies, but drawing with Japan, beating the United States, beating Argentina, beating Morocco the quarterfinals, losing to Brazil, who I think ended up winning it. Probably. No. Wait, that's the senior team. Yes, they beat Mexico in the Olympic final. But I just thought it was neat that we've got a kid. Let's go all the way back here. One who's amazing. He's already capped for Italy. 4 under 21 goals, 27 caps for the under 21s, played in the Olympics. He's a star, right? I think the $44 million we end up paying, which is a lot, is worth it. Locke's still around. I do have some of these guys loan listed. I think we're going to need them though for the immediate future. Marius, Sassari. From there, that's kind of where we're at. So that's why, again, I'm kind of hesitant. We got with the injuries. Essentially, we could give up one of these 3 for a loan. Like if somebody wanted to come in for him. So like Locke, for example, has got lots of people in City of Chi that are interested. I like having him around the team. He's improved a little bit, but he's probably better served by going and getting game time. And we've got enough midfield depth, I think, now with Jala, Viviani. So you could argue, because we talked about this in the stream, just adding Angelini and playing him as the 10, maybe that's not good enough depth. But in a pinch, he can slide back to play one of these 2 spots, and then Kut can come in and play the 10, is my thinking. So I think we could loan these guys out now. I need to do my Europa League registration, the homegrown player, that whole situation we got to get through and figure it out. Ferranti is our cup goalkeeper now, which is another reason that the Coppa Italia needs to be not as important this season. I just don't think it's not that I don't think he's just not as good as Berggren. So we left the team bonuses the same because I want the lads to put in their best effort, but we want to get him some game time, and this is the season for it. Like we've told him he's gonna, like, that was part of a contract from previous seasons. Like, it's gonna increase your game time over time. Well, here you are. In terms of contracts that are expiring, again, I've tried to bump these out so that they're not all coming due in one season. So Cesare, Ferranti, Andreessen, Vipes, and Kut are all due this season. So we need to decide this fall what we're doing with them. Vipes, gonna go. Like, he may go in the January window if we can. We may try and arrange that before the January window so no one signs him on an end of contract. Andresen, maybe. Like, I'm still looking for that really good young center back that we can bring in. Not that I'm unhappy with ours, but we don't have, I don't think, let me just check. Let's go look at our center backs here. Sal Montania has the potential to be bang average. So, like, we don't have anybody amazing in our squad that's coming through right now. So, do we rely on that? Or do we go find somebody, like, do we flip those guys and go find a third stringer, right? Like that. I don't want to be a regular starter. I'll be a squad player, but like over time, I want to be a regular starter. That type of a situation. That's kind of what I'm thinking. So this has been a lot to throw to. We're 25 or 6 minutes in right now, my friends. Again, I want to say shout out. Today, I'm recording this on Monday the 30th. So the patronage is going to be calculated tonight. Thank you for your support. If you support on Patreon, if you enjoy content like this while you're locked up like I am, throw a buck my way. It really does help me personally. But I hope you're healthy. I hope you're well. I can't wait to see what you guys think about Angelini. And not just Angelini, but Cluj and Ernesto, because I don't want to butcher this last name any more than I already have. So I'm going to come back here, my friends. Oh, we're not done. We're not done. So you can come back to pause at this moment if you'd like. We do have some new staff that I'm actually pretty excited about. So we finally got rid of our under 18 manager. Had been with us since the beginning because he was free. We signed Baldi. It says that he was under 18's manager. He was a coach, and then we offered him the under 18 manager job. He was never under 18's manager. So I'm not sure what that's about. We offered it to him because Sampdoria came in and offered the same role, and he said no. Now, to be fair, he had coached at Sampdoria before, so, but it's like, bro, come on, man. We're doing better than them. Whatever. And then we cut an under 18s coach who wasn't very good. We signed Ruben de la Red, Colorado manager, Ejidia manager, and a coach at Haro and Getafe B. You probably know him. I don't, but he's resolute. I think he's a good pickup. Game is running really slow. Under 18 goalkeeper coach Nelson Pereira. Sporting, you would know him from Sporting if you know him at all. From a coaching standpoint, was Arsenal's goalkeeping coach. I think that says something about us. Our under 18s goalkeeping coach was Arsenal's actual goalkeeping coach. Yannick Dumas. It's Dumas. That's a great commercial from back in the day. Some of you may not know what I'm talking about. Quite the career, right? With you can't see this. He's been with. Hold on. Nim 10 years there, reserves manager forever, became a coach, was their caretaker manager, and he applied. I only generally, unless for some reason FM is glitching and I can't why are we here? And I can't post a job because I've had that. We've talked about that. Then I only sign player or coaches that apply. So I think that's kind of cool that he's wanted to join us, and he's quite good, my friends. Look at that, 17 attacking and mental. Oh, delicious. We signed Luca Govoni, who's a 17 physio. Yay, physio. And then I'm afraid I'm going to butcher the name, so I'm not even going to say it. Is it Gabi? I just said it. Professional assistant manager at Newcastle. Prior to that, coach at Vallecano. Under 18 manager for Charlton. And then, let's see. I don't know if he actually moved to El Sad as a player, but Atletico Madrid for 7 years. So you may go, how could you not know him? Well, it's not on my television. So it is what it is, my friends. So I'm pretty excited about those. I think we've upgraded across the board. We still have some of the patrons we signed are still staff members that, we could probably do with replacing, but we're going to keep them. And I tend to just go like, just keep the staff members, which is probably why our players don't get as like reach their potential like they could. But that's how I run with it, my friends. So that's where we're at. Again, I'm going to leave it right here. Let me know what your thoughts are. Hit the like button. Hope you're doing well. Hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. What I'm going to do is get us to where we have the draw, which is somewhere in here. And then we may just do Europa League doubleheader. Get right into the meat of it. Let's go.